Hello, it is Christy and I am back talking about my book that I'm writing for NaNoWriMo, and it is day 27. I have missed quite a few days. It's been Thanksgiving here in the US and there has been no school, so I've been parenting a lot, and my girl has just kind of needed a little more attention also. So there are ebbs and flows, yes. I have made it though to 32,753 words so far, and I have been writing about my decluttering process and organizing, and I have to say I am really proud of my approach to decluttering, because I feel like it helps those of us that are not helped by the experts, because our brains are wired in a totally different way than the experts, who are wired to be naturally neat and tidy and see a mess and can instantly go boop, 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 and put it all away and make it all look lovely. And I am more of the brain wiring of not 1, 2, 3, but book, green, elephant, 4. My brain is just not wired. I'm more right brain dominant, meaning I'm more creative. That's the party side as opposed to the linear adulting side. I also have ADHD and a little brain injury. So I don't think the same way a natural organizer does. But because I've been working with homes and with energy, I, many years ago, started to figure out all the ways that I was really struggling to declutter, and all the ways that I was getting distracted and off track. And it turns out I'm not the only one. So I kind of reverse engineered some of the ways I was getting distracted and having a hard time staying motivated to keep going. Like, one of them was I would start to clean up, but I would work really hard for like a couple of hours, and I do a little here and I do a little there and I do a little here. I was like a ping pong ball all over the place. Bing, 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 bing. And after 2 hours, I had done a lot of work, but I had nothing to show for it. In fact, maybe things even looked worse. And then I would also take, oh, this little thing needs to go to that room, and I would end up taking it to that room. And then 2 hours later, I have maybe done half a load of laundry, and I've gone to the bathroom, and I've called my mom, but this is now in some other random place. Let's see. Oh, also just how to get started. So there's a lot of ways that I came up with a system to do that. So I was really excited to share that. One of the first things, getting started here, I'll give you one tip. When you walk in and you're totally distracted, oh my God, I shouldn't even say distracted, you're distracted, overwhelmed, oh my gosh, where do I start? Pick one place. I would always say start with because we're all different, and I'm not a one size fits all kind of approach to working with our homes. I believe that we are all very individual, and we bring many different aspects to our homes and how we experience them and how we can make them better for our lives and for our families. So I would say where to start is either the easiest place, the first place that is going to give you the biggest bang for the buck, or the thing that is so hard that you have been putting off and you have just worked up all of your energy, or all the things have aligned and you're ready to go. Do that hard thing. Chances are the hard thing usually will only take 0.30 seconds, 0.3 seconds, right? It is so fast, and you've spent weeks, months, years, decades angsting over doing the thing, and yet it's often so fast to actually do it, because we need the inner stuff, the mindset, to be aligned and to be ready. There's so much inner stuff that happens around our stuff, sentimental savers. So, and that's another thing. I work with sentimental savers. We feel things very deeply. We are highly sensitive. We are deeply emotional, and we are sometimes very overwhelmed by the feelings that are attached to all of our stuff, the stories, and then they trigger in our bodies the emotions. And we can have a hangover sometimes, like an emotional hangover after doing some decluttering work. So if you're doing stuff like going through old family pictures, going through relative stuff that's passed on, things from, a part of your life that did not go the way you wanted it to, that's really emotionally charged stuff. So be really gentle with yourself and, letting it go, and make sure you give yourself some time for a little emotional recovery, self-care, right? So just doing that will make a huge difference. And picking the thing that is going to give you the most energy, the easiest thing, or the thing that is feels so overwhelming, but you finally are ready to do it. And I believe in you. You can do it. You can do it. Maybe even you want to come back and put this on while you're doing it. And I'm cheering you on. Here you go. You can do it. You're doing it. You're doing it. Hey! Yeah, so you've got this. So I also was writing about organizing and how I think a lot of us get overwhelmed with the concept of organizing because there's a part of it that we have to stop and think, and we have to go into that left brain, that linear side, to be able to figure out what we need, where it's going to go, what it's going to fit in. Here's also a cautionary tale. Before you start organizing and decluttering, do not go buy containers to organize stuff into. Just put your stuff into little boxes or, shoe boxes, or even cut off bags, something so that you can see what you have in different categories. But don't go buy containers until you know and you've measured the space that it's going to go in before. Even measure twice and write it down, and then put it in your phone. Because I have seen, and I have been my own victim of buying containers with really good intentions, which then just end up becoming clutter. The things that I'm trying to tame the clutter end up becoming clutter because I did not do it in the proper sequence. And do it in little chunks. I know I am not wired to be the kind of person who can empty the whole closet out on the bed and sort through it all at once and then get it back in the closet, what's left over, in one day so I can sleep on the bed without clothes, or the clothes don't end up on the floor. That just doesn't work for me. It's not realistic. And that's okay if that's you too. And if that is not you and you're like, yeah, rock on, I can do that all day long, my work is probably not for you. And you probably have already found a lot of joy with what sparks joy in your home. I'm not really the sparking joy. For me, I'd be throwing out all my financial stuff, and I would just have a lot of art supplies around. So I need to make it more an option of, does it feel like a yes in my body? Does it feel like a no in my body? Or is it a maybe? And giving yourself permission as you're sorting through things to say, it's okay if I choose not to choose. Some things are just too overwhelming at the moment and you're not emotionally ready to deal with it. And that's totally okay. That's totally okay. Yeah, it's totally okay. So I'm going to sign off for now. But I am looking forward to the Cyber Monday coming up on day 28. Today's 26, 28. I'll be launching a little decluttering sale. So stay tuned and just do that one thing. Just do one little thing. That's all you have to do, one little thing. And you can start getting the energy moving. And do it with the intention that you're making room for that which you want in your life.